I'm Kevin, and I'm joined by my co-host with Harrison Bader like hair.
Yeah, it's a weird ordeal. Katie is just proving to be childish.
Which is why I don't feel I would give $5 million to Jack Campbell.
I don't know. Baseball is one of those sports where anyone who makes the playoffs really can be a contender.
I think the Padres definitely do it.
I don't think Donovan Mitchell gets traded.
Kyrie Irving does have the track record of not being a great locker room fit, or even good locker room fit.
Bader got some luscious locks. I gotta say it.
This is Zach Bigley, the broadcaster for the Frisco Rough Riders, and you're listening to Outsiders Opinions with Kevin and Austin. You guys better subscribe.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our NBA Opinions of the Week. I'm Kevin, and I'm joined by the man that has been on this podcast for a while and has saved the podcast, Austin.
Yeah. Jaw's back, and what a statement win. A game winner, a buzzer beater to beat New Orleans. And the Grizzlies started off extremely slow without Ja. And now that they've got him back, I'm really asking the question, Kevin, can they survive? Before he came back, they were 6-19. Now after yesterday's, we're doing this the day after. Was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. Win over New Orleans. We're asking, can they come back? So at 7-19, Kevin, do you think they could make a play-in push or not?
I think so. Like we've talked about how many teams just get in the NBA. They are currently the play-in's 10. So they're currently
They're 13th, but they are 7 games or 6.5 games back.
6.5 games back. And I think they can. Especially with Ja, he drops 34 and hits the game winner like you talked about. It's just this team really fits well with him. And I think as long as he focuses on the court and he doesn't do anything off the court that puts his team or risks his playing time, I think he should be able to play. Because Desmond Bane had 21, so I think it really just helps the offense and just adds a different tier to what we thought they had. Even though they are still dealing with injuries with Steven Adams and and Jaren Jackson Jr.
Oh, Junior's back.
Junior's back. Okay, cool.
It's
okay,
Brandon Clark.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah. If Jaren Jackson's back, then I think they definitely have the push. They can definitely go on the run. I'm curious what their schedule looks like.
Yeah, they still have a lot of tough games left, but they also have some easy ones. It's really, can they go on a strong run? Number 10 right now is the Phoenix Suns at 14-13. They've had a rough go of things, especially after Beal got hurt again and is out for 2 weeks. So he is to get back from that. We've only seen one game where KD, Beal, and Booker have played. So that's something that the Suns will have to fix. But I do think the Grizzlies could make a push. I don't think they will, though. I think there's too many teams above them that are like the Rockets. Well, let me put it this way: the Warriors aren't even in a playoff spot right now, or play-in spot. They're not even in a play-in spot. They're 11, and maybe the Rockets fall out, but I don't think the Pelicans will. There's just not many spots for them to go up. The West is so stacked this year, especially compared to the East, that I am pretty worried about them being able to make it. I think they may get close and may get in within a game or two, but I do think they eventually fall short.
Okay. All right. I can see that. Yeah, the West is stacked, but I'm looking at the schedule right now for the Grizzlies. If they're not going to go on that 10-0 run, in my opinion, but maybe they can get 4 straight because they play the Pacers tomorrow, then the Hawks, then the Pelicans. Those, I think, all right, with Ja back, those are some teams where we saw them just beat the Pelicans. So that's a key game. But I think they can beat the Pacers, then the Hawks. But after that Pelicans game, Austin, the Grizzlies play the Nuggets, Clippers, and Kings. And that's a very tough stretch.
That is, and they will have to survive at least getting one of those wins because they can't really afford to go on any long losing streaks at this point in the year now.
Yeah, like they're going to have to go on a huge winning streak if they want to do that. But the West is, you could say, the Wild West. So I think there's definitely a chance, and maybe we see the Grizzlies do a trade.
What would that look like?
I heard, well, this is on Twitter, and maybe this is just like hopeful Mavs fans, but like they were talking about Marcus Smart could be on the market. Um, and so maybe they kind of switch out Marcus Smart for other players and get more depth.
I highly doubt that happens
Okay.
because we haven't even seen Marcus Smart with Ja yet because of the Smart's injury and Ja's suspension. So Smart played well before his injury, but I highly doubt they trade him before he even gets a chance to play with Ja. And I don't know how much time's going to be before the trade deadline. I don't think Smart's the guy to go.
Okay. Could you see someone else being traded or?
I could see maybe Xavier Tillman or Santi Aldama, but those are still young guys that are at a position that is weak. They don't have many front court players, centers or power forwards. So, because of Steven Adams being hurt and Brandon Clark, so they do have a lot to, a big reason to keep those guys. But I could see them being traded for the right circumstances. I think they realize that because of the 25 game suspension to Ja, that this year, well, maybe it's not a wash and they still want to do well. They understand that not necessarily the guys on the team are the reason why, but it's because of the injuries to Steven Adams, Brandon Clark, Marcus Smart, and then the suspension to Ja for the reason why they're losing. It's not necessarily because of a lack of roster depth.
Yeah, that's fair. And maybe they do because we talked about the West being just so full. Maybe they're like, okay, maybe this isn't the year. Let's get another development. Let's build some camaraderie. Because before the Ja suspension last year, it looked like they were continuing to ascend that ladder of the West hierarchy, and like they kept moving up. But now it seems like they've taken a step back because of that suspension.
Yeah, it's a good way to put it.
And I believe they still have all their picks.
Yeah,
I don't-
mostly. I
Yeah.
believe so.
Yeah, because they haven't done a big type swing trade where they've lost
Besides
picks. So
Smart.
yeah, Smart. But I don't think they gave up a first. They may have given up a second.
I'll have to go back and look. But yeah, I don't think they gave up too much.
So this is a team that can just continue to add through the draft, and they've done well drafting. Desmond Bane was a steal. I think they drafted, everyone on this team except Smart, I was pretty sure was drafted by the Grizzlies, besides Steven Adams in that trade.
And then Bismack Biyombo, who's
Mhm.
there as well. They did trade the 2024.
Oh,
First.
okay.
Memphis traded Marcus Sasser, who was a second round pick, and a 2024 first round pick. Yeah.
All right, so scratch what I said about them having all their first round picks, I guess. But still a good future for them. I don't know if it's as bright as it once was.
Yeah, but this is again, like you said and I said, this is kind of a not necessarily rebuilding year, but it is a year to kind of grow as a team, not necessarily to win a ring.
All right. Yeah, so to conclude, can the Grizzlies make it to the play-in? I say yes, you say no, correct?
Can they? Yes, but
Can
I'm
they?
saying, will they? No.
Will they? Will they?
Will
I'm
they?
going to
Do
say
you think
yes.
they will?
Yes.
Okay. I don't
Alright.
think they will. I think they can. I don't think they will.
Will they? Got it. Yeah, can and will are very different. And that's all we got. Let us know what you think, and we really appreciate you listening to Outsiders' Opinions.